Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss, and I'm popping in today with a brief practice to help us mobilize, stabilize, strengthen our hips and our core as we play with a little balance. So let's hop on the mat. That's all you really need today. Maybe you want a blanket for under your knees. But other than that, let's go. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. Let your knees set as wide as your hip points, those knobby bones, kind of bony protuberances at the front of your hips. We'll set the knees that wide so we get a good foundation to start. Let's walk the hands as wide as your mat, maybe a little forward of your shoulders, and give a nice root into your shins, give a nice root into your fingertips, and take a moment to settle into your breath here. And just see over these next couple rounds of breath how smooth and silky your breath could become. Start to push gently into the earth till you feel yourself lengthen your arms and get a little more space away from the ground. Gently draw your chin just a little downward. Imagine from the center of your skull right through your tail a long line. And let's tuck the toes under. And the next time you exhale, we're going to rock towards your right heel, but rotate your left thigh out. So your left knee ends up pointing a little more skyward. And then breathe your way back to table. And we're going to do that same side 3 more times. Exhale, rock your hips towards your right heel. Keep your left toes down and pivot on them. Rotate your thigh out. And then we come back to neutral. 2 more. Here's your exhale. Here's your smooth, silky inhale. And 1 more time. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Keep the toes tucked under. Rock your hips back. Rotate your right thigh out. Again, toes stay on the ground. And breathe your way back. We'll rotate the right thigh out. And breathe your way back. 2 more. And 1 last time. Great. Now let's go ahead and come onto your elbows. And let's take your right leg out, straight behind you with the toes tucked under. I'd love you to think of drawing your front ribs gently up into your back ribs as you push the ground away. And a little feeling perhaps of hugging your belly button a little towards your spine and a little up toward your heart. Don't be over aggressive with that. Just have that thought. And let's lift the right leg up to the height that you can without changing your pelvis or your spine, and tap your toes down. So we're looking to keep a stable pelvis and spine here. Tap your toes down. 2 more. So you're not tipping into, say, a cow pose. And the next time your toes come down, leave them there. Wiggle a little bit around so you can feel maybe a little bit of your pinky toe connected to the earth. Again, that strong rooting of your forearms into the earth, and send your left leg back. So now we're in a plank with the forearms on the ground. And get a little bit of a tail tuck here. Find a breath in. And then let's lower all the way down to your belly. Slide your left arm out long. Flip your right hand by the side of your waist and roll over. Now you could put a blanket under your head, or you could bend your elbow and put that under your head. And let's bend the 2 knees. So you've got like a 90-degree angle at your hip joint. Take your right leg straight out in front of you in the same direction your belly and your chest are facing. And lift your right leg up just a little and lower. And so as you do that, lift and lower, I'd love you to think of staying really forward on your left hip and your left ribs, so that you're not opening so far that you roll back towards your tail. You're staying firmly up on that left thigh, left outer hip. And last 2 here. So you can feel those outer right hip muscles kicking in. And then let's bend your knees. Roll your way back onto your belly. Bring your elbows back underneath you. You can interlace the fingers, shoulders right over the elbows here. And root the forearms down so you get a little bit of lift through those armpits. Tuck your toes, fire up your legs. You're back into plank. Take a long, smooth breath in, a long, smooth breath out. And then bring each knee underneath each hip. Again, find that spot where you're not too much in cow pose or cat pose, but right in the middle. And that light feeling as you exhale of your abdominals drawing gently towards your spine. Let's take the left toes out, tuck them under. And again, you'll wiggle a little bit till you feel some semblance of the pinky toe connected, and we'll lift that leg and we'll lower. Again, just lifting to the height that you can before things tip, either into cow pose or even before you turn your left hip out to the right, to the left. Next time your toes tuck down, keep them there. Send your right leg out. We're in that forearm plank. Can add in a little bit of cat pose here so you can find those lower abdominals and take one more breath. Then place your knees down, lower all the way down, and take your right arm out long, your left hand by your right under your shoulder, and roll onto your right side. You can bend your elbow, rest your head, or put a blanket or block there, and bend your two knees, 90-degree at the hip and the knee. Now we're going to take the left leg and send it out straight across from where your heart is, and we'll lift and we'll lower. Again, as you lift and lower, we're working to keep the hips stacked, the shoulders stacked. We're going to do two more of these, nice and easy. Just see if you can get an awareness of your outer hip muscles. And then we'll rebend. Send the legs out long, roll onto your belly. Slide your way onto your elbows. In that little push of the ground away, almost like you're starting Sphinx pose, but then tuck your toes under, draw your abdominals up, tuck your tail a little bit, and fire up your legs so you're in that forearm plank. Again, we'll take a nice long breath in, a nice long breath out. Then bring each knee to the ground. Now from here, let's walk up to hands and knees. Again, your hands about as wide as your mat. Let's walk the hands a little forward of the shoulders. So maybe you're thinking the front of the shoulder over the underside of the wrist, and tuck all your toes under. Now from here, lift your knees up just to a little crouch. Push that ground away and stay a moment or two. Establish your breath. And see if you can notice your abdominal muscles. Now let's keep a bend in the knees and lift the hips up to a soft bent knee downward dog. And then if you like, you can start to outstretch the legs. Just love you to keep a little bit of length through your spine, and we'll take one breath. Now go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet. And walk your hands up onto your thighs till your torso is about halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. And I'd love you to think about the pelvis here, lifting you all the way up to stand, spine going long for the ride. Go ahead, inhale your hands to your hips. Put a little bend in your knees, just a little bit. Now hinge forward over your thighs about halfway and let your hips sit back. So we're coming into like a little hingy deadlift kind of thing, and bring yourself up. So we're working on the glutes a little bit. Again, we'll hinge forward because they're part of our core system, not just the abs, right? You can think of the core as the abdominal muscles, sideways muscles, back muscles, and of course, glute muscles. And one more time, we'll hinge over and we'll come on up. Now to add a little more weight, breathe your arms up and hinge forward. Again, soft knees. Now, when you can't hinge any further, take your hands to the ground. You could turn this into Uttanasana, letting the head release, the upper back soften. Now let's walk forward, plank pose, top of your push-up position, and stay a breath. Give a strong push into the earth. Keep those legs super fired. Then walk yourself back, hands back. With a breath in, sweep out and rise all the way up. You could keep those arms right alongside your ears, front ribs soft, or hands to your hips. And we hinge from those hips. Again, a little bend in the knees, hips sit back. When you can't hinge, take your hands to the ground, release your head. Walk yourself forward, plank pose. Take a breath in, strong legs, strong arms, and take a breath out. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands back. With a breath in, sweep out and rise up. We're going to do that again. Little soft knees, hinge forward. Sit those hips back, hands to the earth. When you inhale, walk forward to plank. As you exhale, lightly tuck the tail, let the abdominals lightly draw in. Stay for your breath in. Stay for your breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back. One more time, we'll sweep out, we'll rise up. And then we'll take the hands to prayer at your heart. Now we're going to add in one thing. Let's start with the hands on the hips again. Bend your knees significantly and let your hips sit back. We come into a squat. Knees and toes facing the same direction. And we'll keep the knees and toes a little more forward as a choice right now. Now rise all the way up, hands to hips or hands to the sky. Hinge forward. You know this part. Once your hands touch down, walk forward into plank. Stay for the breath. When you exhale, walk your hands back. Inhale, sweep out and rise all the way up. Arms can stay up or hands to hips. Bend your knees and sit back like you were going to sit into your imaginary chair. So hips slide back. Root into your heels, rise up. Exhale, hinge your hips forward so spine stays long, knees a little soft. When your hands touch down, we walk forward, plank. Strong legs, light tuck of the tail, feel your abdominals, take a breath. And when you're ready to exhale, walk your hands back. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, sweep out and rise up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back. We'll keep the knees and the toes same direction, same distance. Inhale, press down into your heels, come on up. Exhale, hinge forward. Again, feel the support of your abdominals here, hugging your organs into the body and fold. Let your hands walk forward. And same idea. Let your abdominals support your organs. So your belly organs are really held firmly here, but you can still breathe. And then walk your hands back. One more time, we sweep out and rise up. And now let's take the hands to your heart. All right, now let's just play a little bit. Again, we'll set the feet about hips distance. Let's inhale the arms up. Bend your knees and sit into your squat. Let's breathe your hands to prayer at your heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. Pick your right foot up. Have a moment to balance. Step your feet down. Squat. We can keep the hands here. Hips sit back. Shift the weight into your right foot, right heel a lot. Pick up your left knee. Good. Right into your squat. Little support from those abs. Shift the weight. Pick up the right foot. Put your foot down, 2 feet squat. Shift the weight, pick up your left. So strong outer hip so you're not sinking into it. Now let's add on. Bend your knees into your squat, we go. Hips are moving back. Then press down, come up. As you lift your foot, turn out, free pose. Keep hugging that hip in. Into your squat, nice, soft, gentle landing. Shift the weight to your right foot, press down into your right heel, the right big toe mound. Pick up your left, rotate your thigh out. Wherever your foot lands, let it land gently. Try to level your hips. Now, could we put that together with our previous situation? Let's inhale the arms up. Bend your knees, sit back. Breathe your hands to prayer. Straighten your 2 legs. Shift into your right foot. Pick up your left foot, tree. Set your foot down. Inhale your arms up. Hinge forward. Walk your hands forward. Plank pose. Stay a breath in. Stay a breath out. Inhale your breath and walk your hands back. Inhale, sweep out and rise all the way up. Exhale into your squat. Sit those hips back, nice and heavy in your heels. Breathe your hands to your heart. Shift your weight into your left foot. Pick your right foot up. Turn your thigh out. Tree pose. 2 feet down, arms up. Hinge forward. When you're hinging, stop, hands to the earth. One more time, we walk out into plank. Take a long breath in, a long breath out. One more inhale. Exhale your hands back. Drop those heels with a breath in, sweep out and rise up. Hands to prayer at your heart. All right, gang. So that's it. Just a fun little core hip balancing moment to play with. Have fun with it. Don't get too crazy about it. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, please pop them in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, please do so. And if you want to find out more about me, my online classes, our video recorded content, please visit my website. This is yourbliss.com. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you all real soon.